All right, this is very quick, one and done. I want this just on the record, and this is going to be the beginning, the start of many more lives, shorts, videos, what have you. I know you guys are probably familiar with Amazon Prime's. Yo, what's up, Justin? Good to see you, Mr. President. Don't forget what I told you, okay? All right. Forgive me for anybody that enters in. It's late. I actually promised myself I wouldn't go on, but given what I'm watching right now, what's on my TV screen at this very moment, I cannot. Hush, whoop whoop. What's up, Z-Fouls? Andy Libby. Okay. No more goodbyes, except for one more because four is like a lucky number for me. So the very next person is the last person, I promise. And now, with that being said, the title of this video is Sackler. If you're not familiar with that last name or that name at all, Cindy D, my son's life mattered. Hello. Thank you for stopping by. I miss you, Cindy. I really need to contact you, and I see you've been busy out and about in the other chats. I need to congregate with Indy, Ronnie, and Steve Harloa. But okay, all right. Here's what's going on right now. So, Amazon Prime originally had a show, a series. I forget the name. It was starring Michael Keaton, and it was about Oxycontin. It was about the great opiate epidemic. Do you know when that opiate epidemic started? Started in 1998. Only nobody noticed. Nobody realized that snakes in the grass, in the form of what is it when you're philanthropists and wealthy plutocrats, and some with ties to chemistry, like the individual that helped get the great opiate epidemic started, and also get Oxycontin on the market and market it to children and destroy millions of lives and end almost as many, if not more, was also responsible. And what's so sad is that he's known as being brilliant. They call this man brilliant, the man who was responsible for bringing benzodiazepines to the table for the American people. It makes me so angered. I find myself right now, I have to be careful because this is the closest thing to home in terms of when I get on live and discuss anything. I've learned with all the years of speaking and learning how to monologue and explain and tell the story and try to uh, find anybody that's listening uh, getting engaged in what I'm saying. With all of that being said, I don't want it lost upon anybody, the passion I have for this specific family. All right, we all know the Walton family, the Bilderbergs. You know, I mean, I'm sure you can come up with a few names, right? The scumbag one percenters, but the one that I'll never forget because they scarred me. They took away, oh, I don't know, 70% of my friends that I grew up with, and it is still a compounding impact. The Sackler family were found guilty of the great opioid epidemic in on a global scale. With all the guilt and all of the like we the people showing these rich folks that we would not settle for anything less than justice. What did we settle for? All they had to do was they didn't apologize, and nobody saw any jail time. They had their last name removed from museums, and that's the extent of their apology. And the female Sackler, she has a terrible anti-apology. She admits that she doesn't feel she did anything wrong, regardless of how many people man, women, children that we lost because of Oxycontin, and now fentanyl is still out there doing its thing. Um, I want to advertise. There was one, I forget the name of it, that was on Amazon Prime. Now it's a new one on Netflix, and that's what I'm watching. And this is going to be the beginning of me just retelling a story, but with hopefully new information. I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna get pissed off over the span of the next few days because I'm going to binge it. Just like I binged almost ending my own life when I was hooked on opiates and the state, not the Sacklers. The Sacklers had the state in their pockets when the state ripped my rib cage open and stuck tubes into my right lung and had me in ICU for 12 days. That's a lot of pain, I promise you, and I have the scar to prove it. Feels like a lightning bolt strikes sometimes. I have sciatic nerve damage, but I'll never take a painkiller again. The closest thing to justice you'll ever find for the great opiate epidemic is not an apology, but knowing that the family that created this and marketed it to children, chewable tablets, they did the equivalent of Flintstones vitamins for opiates for kids, okay? Bear that in mind. And ask yourself, like, do you find it surprising that Hunter Biden and all the other little scumbags in the world that are rich or not or politically connected continue to get busted and never get in trouble? Well, if you'd like to see that start to change, if you'd like to be an active part in that trend going the other which way, because the mainstream and the power hungry that can afford to kind of hide, they never see the light of day when it comes to justice. They'll never know what it's like to be behind a jail cell. They'll never know what it's like to be an addict. They'll never know what it's like to suffer and lose somebody from an addiction that was almost nearly forced upon you. My brief story, if I could put it in a few sentences, is the state got me hooked and they fed me for 3 months. And I lived in a trailer park, and then the nurse just stopped coming to my house without any notice, stopped feeding me Vicodin, Percocets, and then I just woke up like, holy crap, I'm getting sick. I'm in so much pain. My rib cage is open, and uh, I need relief. So this is an old story. I don't have to go through it again, but we may revisit this. And I've been talking to a lot of people from my position at my job regarding their journeys. I hope we can all expect some people that have witnessed and gone through everything that has become has become commonplace. The American experience, sadly, now is known as surviving addiction. I just watched a very interesting interview as well. I remember I'm a huge Second Amendment guy, right? What's another unique American thing? And I'm not doing a right wing, left wing. This is not political. Okay. Mass shootings and serial killers. Did you know that they're almost completely not unique, but they function at the highest level in our country, the United States of America? Yes, there's other third world countries, so on and so forth. But if you look at other European countries, it's like a non-existent thing. So I'm looking at a lot of symptoms. Symptoms. It's not the full illness. The full illness is how our prison system is completely for profit, not rehabilitation. Um, there's an interview I almost wish I could share with you. Probably on Rumble, I will. I've been doing a lot of research in the meantime when I'm not working my ass off for 12 hours. Um, with that being said, let me just let you know, if you Netflix is the most common streaming service. All right, this one right here is called Painkiller. Matthew Broderick plays the scumbag Sackler. I forget the name of, I forget his first name, but I knew it well. I memorized it. Yeah, I'm looking at his face. People in power that had political connections made the ultimate decision that their bank accounts, their wealth, their global power and grip was far greater and far more important than the lives of humanity, than the lives of the young and the naive, the father that lost the son, the mother that lost a child. I will never understand because we have a family we could have utilized and shown as an example that there is still justice, and it didn't happen that way. The only justice they faced, and there was a deposition. They paid, actually, they didn't even have to pay all the millions of dollars they were sued for. All they had to do was file for bankruptcy through shell companies, and they're still thriving with their indoor pools and everything else, things that are just completely alien to us. So do yourself a favor, get educated if you don't know it personally like I do. I survived 12 years of, how long have I been clean now off of an actual painkiller? The last time I took a painkiller was about 12 years ago. Although, remember, I still take a very small piece of Suboxone every couple days. I have to own up to that truth. I hate it though. I hate it. But to me, that's a payoff because otherwise, I was going to die. So check out Painkiller on Netflix, guys. I'm going to watch the rest of this, and I hope you all find yourselves well. Okay? They love to hook. Yeah, no kidding, James. James Mishka, Base Girl, Actions, all of you guys. D Libby, thank you. This is one of the most personal plights and fights and experiences that I myself have gone through, and the amount of people I've lost. And out of all the people I've lost, there will always be there will always be the one that was, it's a pipe dream now, like I thought I was in love. She went to rehab. She got all better. She came back, and she left behind her daughter. She had to see and witness her the love of her life OD in the bathroom, and I miss you, Lindsay, and I won't share your last name. I think of you very often, and I remember how much time we spent together. You're just one of so many people that were stolen, and there's not been any justice. I hope that we all pay attention and unite for this next election cycle, because I really fear, and I remember, I'm not the end is nigh kind of guy. I'm not the alarmist. I really think, we could be facing some serious consequences if we don't get our priorities in order. We need to get the fucking power back from the powers that be. Because the fucking powers that be have not even an iota of a care of our livelihoods, our well-beings, nor our happiness. We are just serial numbers. We consume data. We are swayed by their algorithms to think this way or that way. We're trained to hate our neighbor. And the world we live in is just very bleak. I hope I see the change before my final day. Good night, one and all. That's it. This is a brief check in. Till next we meet, I promise it'll be soon.